Okay, let's get started. We kind of knew this was going to be a small group anyway, so if more folks trickle in, that's also fine. But if you're on the call with us, thank you so much for joining. Welcome everybody to this office hours session. So if you're here, it's probably because you are using Scroll Viewport today and you would like to know how to upgrade to the next generation, which is Scroll Sites. So as you might have seen from some of our communication recently, we are starting the sunset process for Scroll Viewport for Confluence Cloud, meaning that we will start to phase the app out in its current format. So if you haven't upgraded to Scroll Sites yet, don't worry. That's why we're here. It's why we're making ourselves available as a team. We've also created some additional resources that will be available to you to support the process and just make sure that this experience is as quick and as smooth as it can be. So a very quick intro from our team here at K15T. We are your hosts. So my name is Shannon. I'm leading product marketing at K15T. I am joined by Caro, who does product management and design for the Scroll Sites team. And on the call is also our teammate Fabian. He's one of our very knowledgeable developers behind Scroll Sites. And between the three of us, I hope we're able to have some engaging discussions with you all, answer any of the questions that might come up about how to upgrade. I also want to encourage you all to make use of the chat function. We have a few things that we'll go through, but we want to spend a lot of the time today just sort of chatting with you about what's going on in your setup. I also do have the ability to allow you to chat with us, like actually to talk. So if that's the case, feel free to let me know and we can have a discussion at the end. And yes, please don't be shy. We actually have a small group today, which is good. And so I hope that you guys all came with some questions that we can hopefully answer. And this is what we'll dive into today. So I want to talk about the sunsetting process for Scroll Viewport and what kind of a timeline we're on right now. And of course, we want to talk you through what the actual upgrade process looks like. And like I said, we'll hopefully spend the majority of the session actually chatting with you all about how we can help. So let's start. And let's actually start back at the end of last year. In October of last year, we made Scroll Sites generally available. So that meant that for anybody who was using Scroll Viewport at the time, you then had both apps installed on your system, and Scroll Viewport continued to work as normal. We saw a lot of folks start to move over to the new product right after that. Then at the end of last year, the beginning of this year, around that time, our aim was to hit feature maturity. And we are really happy to say that Scroll Sites has actually surpassed Scroll Viewport now by a number of measures. So that includes things like our feature set, the performance, flexibility, all those good things. So we have hit that milestone. We're really excited about that. And the plan was to start to phase out Scroll Viewport at the beginning of this year. We actually haven't started any of that yet. We gave folks a little bit more breathing room, but we are keeping with the intention to deprecate Scroll Viewport by the end of 2026. So as a part of the next phase of the sunset process, updating your Scroll Viewport sites will soon be disabled. So Scroll Viewport will reach end of life in December of this year. But we also want to be clear that part of the reason for that deadline is also based on some external factors that we're dealing with. So Atlassian is ending support for Connect-based apps, which is what Scroll Viewport is. And so Scroll Sites, on the other hand, it's already mostly on full Forge, which is sort of the next generation for Atlassian. So that will be Scroll Viewport's replacement. So as mentioned, if you haven't upgraded yet, now is the time to start. And of course, it's not for nothing. Of course, there are benefits waiting for you on the other side. As said, we have brought a lot more to Scroll Sites since its launch last October. So here's a little bit about what you'll experience once you're over there. So Scroll Viewport, it's actually been around for over 10 years. It was sort of our original publishing app for publishing your Confluence content as a help center. Even Atlassian themselves, they are still using Scroll Viewport. And Scroll Sites was really our next generation of that app with the intention that we are offering a more flexible and more powerful way to publish Confluence content as high-performance websites of all kinds, so not just help centers. And it's a totally fresh start, so we've actually rebuilt the app to remove some of the limitations we had with Scroll Viewport. We're able to now introduce new capabilities. We have new themes and offer just way more flexibility than what was possible before. The first that you'll notice is we have live updates. So that was a very long-standing feature request from many of our users. It's now available on cloud. Essentially, what it means is when you make updates in Confluence, they will now be automatically reflected in your site. You have a much better overview of your content in general. So a number of new features that give you the power to just understand how your site is functioning. So, what content is being updated, where it's being updated, and plenty more. And last but not least, just new ways to deliver that content. So, when it comes to themes, you're no longer limited to just help centers. So, Scroll Sites supports a wider range of ready-to-use themes, so themes just out of the box. The Help Center is, of course, still one of those, but we've also introduced themes for different use cases like blogs and field service, and that sort of thing. And one of the things we've been heavily focusing on in Scroll Sites is making sure that your site is actually AI ready. So we introduced AI-powered search, I believe, about a year and a half ago on Scroll Viewport. And we're now actually going even deeper into how your content is not only found and understood by large language models, so LLMs, but also how your users interact with it. So in addition to the AI search feature, the documentation or whatever content you're sharing is now consumable and actually interactive with LLM tools, meaning your users can actually ask tools like ChatGPT or Claude or any LLM that they work with about pages of your documentation. So all they have to do is open the article in the AI tool of their choice, like ChatGPT, and the full context will already be included. So your users can just start asking questions right away. Like simple question like, what permissions do I need to do XYZ? The AI can then just return a clean, natural language response. So your answers are just much more fast, more interactive than trying to sort of read and dig through the whole site. And part of that is we know that AI is now becoming the default way that people search for answers and actually interact with information. So Scroll Sites is we're really trying to make sure that that supports both sides of the experience for whatever that user is trying to do. And so that's a little bit about what you'll experience on Scroll Sites. We have a lot of other new things that came along, but I would be happy to hand it over to Caro right now, who will give you a really brief overview of what does that actual upgrade process look like, and what are the right steps you can take to sort of prepare yourself. And Caro, you can take it away.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Shannon. So how does the new Scroll Sites upgrade process look like? Like we have made a new upgrade to the process. So right now you can move your Scroll Viewport site to Scroll Sites if everything works correct without any downtime. So we have now a way to automatically move your custom domain and also your site access strategy to the new site. So click. So the upgrade process has 5 steps. So first you start the upgrade from your site in Scroll Viewport. We will replicate the site in Scroll Viewport, and then there is the chance to review all of your settings. So you can check how does the site look, is everything like I want to have it or how I used to have it. If you're then happy with it, you can start the transfer of the domain. So what we are doing is we are transferring all the settings of the custom domain. And if you have like set up any access strategy, for example, single sign-on using SAML or token protection, we are also preparing that on our end. And once this is done, you can check the settings again, and then if you complete the upgrade, your domain is then pointing to your new Scroll Sites instead of your Scroll Viewport site. So this means like all the time your site will be live. So we just at the end, when you complete the upgrade, change the pointer in quotes, and then it points to the new Scroll Site. And to finish this up, you should, and we really encourage you to delete the old site from Scroll Viewport once you're happy with the new site. So I've recorded some video snippets. Shannon, you can click. This is how you start the upgrade. So as you can see on the side, you have both entries. It's Scroll Sites and Scroll Viewport. In the case I show you, I have like a site, my Good Software Ware Help Center site. It has a single sign-on setup. As you can see, I have to log in. It has some content sources added, different ones. Some have, like, as you can see, variants added with Scroll Content Manager, or versions. Yeah, this is my setup. This is how it looks, as you can see here. And then you can start the upgrade directly from the Scroll Viewport app, and it will lead you to Scroll Sites. As you can see here, you will have a list of all your sites. In my case, this is just the one help center. I can click upgrade site, and we will create, or we will replicate the site from Scroll Viewport as an unpublished site after you've clicked. What does it mean? It does mean the site is ready, but it's just you can see the site from the app menu, so no one else. It's not a public site, so this is mainly for reviewing the site. So now we gathered all the content from Scroll Viewport, and now you can click. Now the site is getting built, as you can see here. And while we are building the site, you can already start reviewing the site by going into site settings or clicking the review here. There will be the upgrade summary. In my case here, I had like some redirects, AI search, or custom code added. So if you click on one of those, it will lead you to the part of the settings which you can check. In my case, I set up redirects. I just added a note. This is now possible with Scroll Sites. It wasn't possible in Scroll Viewport before, so that you can manage your redirects better, so that you can note down like what the redirect is for. So you can configure those settings on the go. So then you can go up to this. So this is fine. So I will check my custom code. Doing that, I have to go to the theme configurator, go to custom code section. And what I'm doing right now is I just copy the code which I had in my Scroll Viewport site. Probably you're familiar with that. So I go to the custom CSS section, copy the code snippet, and paste it into my replicated Scroll Sites. In my case, I have prepared it, so it's already the correct code snippet. If you migrate it from Scroll Viewport, some code snippets they are having another suffix here, but yeah, so you have to adjust it, and this looks fine now. And then I also need to connect AI search, so you have to enable it again, post your code, and then I save settings. So what you're doing here is like you're checking all of your settings, and then you have to wait until the update is done. As you can see, like we are building now, the site was created here. This was the first site creation. And then I did some more updates with you now. So these updates are now getting published to the site. And as by default, the site is set up to manual site update strategy because it's closer to what we used to have in Scroll Viewport before. The changes will go to a pending, and you have to update those changes. And now you can check out the site. So as you can see here, AI is connected, so this looks fine. And then I can check this from my list. Then I check the site again, and this is the custom code. As you can see here, I've added some like primary color. So this also looks fine. And in this step, I just encourage you to just check out your site. How does it look? Is everything looks like you expected? It automatically like checks all the settings. So the same versions are added to the content sources, the same variants. So it should be the same. This is the review process. So Shannon, you can click. So now if you're happy with everything, how your site looks, you can start the transfer. Doing this, you can click transfer here. So what the app is doing, we are transferring, as explained before, the settings of your custom domain and your site access strategy. This can take up to 5 minutes. So if it takes a bit longer, you have to be a little bit patient for the transfer. Sometimes it takes a little longer. Once you can see complete upgrade, this would be the step where you will change the pointer of your domain. So I recommend to check the site. That's what I did here. As you can see here, this is still the Scroll Viewport site. So maybe let's check it again. Can go to domain in the domain, you can check your site access strategy. So it's single sign-on. You could also check your details. This is all automatically transferred here. Just to double check. And then if you complete the upgrade, and you reload it again. Yeah. A single sign-on is transferred. And as you can see here, this is it's pointing now to the replicated scroll sites. So this is the completed upgrade. And then in the next step, so the upgrade is now completed, you can delete your old site from here directly or also from Scroll Viewport, just to make sure that the data is not stored anymore. It's permanently deleted, so you really need to make sure, just do it if you're safe, that everything is working correctly. And then it's done. As you can see here, if you go to Scroll Viewport, the site is gone. So the upgrade is completed. Yeah. This is basically how the, we call it smooth migration works, if everything works correct. If you experience any issues, sometimes it happens, you can always reach out in support and we are happy to help. And then, Shannon, if you click, this is where we're at right now. We are in Q2, and what we are trying to do now, because now everyone should be unblocked to upgrade to scroll sites, we will disable like site updates. Shannon pointed it out before. So this means like you're not able to update your sites from Scroll Viewport anymore. If you experience any issues and you really think you have trouble, you can always reach out so we can talk about it. We can also help you with the migration. But in theory, this will be disabled soon. The live sites, which are still live, will remain live. So we will not take down any live site from Scroll Viewport. The next step would be that we are in the next quarter, we really want to kind of revoke access from Scroll Viewport. So everyone should migrate or upgrade to Scroll sites. We will also freeze the data here. So either we freeze it or we will move the data to Scroll sites. We are still like exploring on that. And the next step would be then the end of service. This is like the hard end. This is what Shannon mentioned before. This is our hard cut deadline from a technical perspective, but we really want to revoke access as here earlier. So please, this is now the time to start your upgrade. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's it basically.
Yeah.
And now I guess we are now looking forward to hear your questions or concerns or experience.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I guess before we get there, just wanted to share this last slide. If you haven't already, definitely check out the documentation to learn how to upgrade. I mean, everything that Caro just walked through, we obviously have that documented as well. We have a number of articles, including the latest information on essentially what Caro showed, which is this sort of automatic or smooth migration. So you can either scan this QR code or just go to help.k15t.com and you can learn how to do that. So yes, we already have our first question, so perfect. Hello, Muhammad. Thanks a lot. This looks easy. If we are using a custom domain on Scroll Viewport, is there any additional action required from the admin?
If everything happens like we expect it to happen, no. So as you saw in the demo, we automatically transfer everything. So you don't have to change CNAME or any records on your domain end. So we will take care of it on our end. Also to say, maybe that's also good information. If you experience any issues with the domain transfer, your site will still be live on Scroll Viewport, which means like if something goes wrong, we are trying to fix it on our end, but your site will still be live. So what we are doing in cases like that, we are trying to troubleshoot what happened, and then we will try to fix this and make your upgrade happen. So it's not as risky, because your site is still live. So it should be risk-free to try.
Nice. Yeah, I hope that answered your question.
And maybe one more thing to notice, I forgot to to talk about it in the demo. One thing which is really important is once you are in the upgrade process that you are not changing any settings from in Scroll Viewport. So once the upgrade process started, you shouldn't change any custom domain settings. So you really should trust the system, because otherwise it will be hard on our end to figure out what happened, and then also the upgrade wizard is not working as expected anymore. Yeah.
Nice. Great. We had another question come in through Q&A. I hope it's okay that I read these out. It's
Yeah.
more for the benefit of the recording. But this is from Jorn, and it says, is there a way to undo the custom domain changeover just in case something does break? We have a decently complicated setup with a bunch of custom JS, custom CSS, and as well as various help centers interconnected with each other. So our workaround for multi-language, since we don't have scroll documents and translations, that means it'll be difficult to check everything without actually making the change. So original question, is there a way to undo the custom domain changeover in case something breaks?
That's a tricky question, I guess. Did I understand it correct? Maybe I need more information, or also maybe Fabian needs more information. Are those multiple sites connected to a single custom domain? So are you using any proxy setup, or?
Jorn, I've actually allowed you to speak if you want to add anything.
You can also type if that's easier, if you are.
Yeah.
No, I just forgot to hit allow. I think you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
So I think in Scroll Viewport there's separate domains. Like on our end, there are like subdomains. So we have like de.support.our company and fr for French and so on. But yeah, I think in Scroll Viewport they're just like separate domains.
Okay. So you have created for every language or for every site, you have created a subdomain from your custom domain? Yeah. So
Yes.
this would be treated as single sites. Is there any so what you could do is you replicate one site and you transfer the custom domain afterwards once you but you want to check out the whole setup if everything is connected.
Yeah, because we have to manually link between the all the individual articles, and there we have custom JavaScript that dynamically creates those links in the menu. It's weird, but that's our solution.
Fabian, now you have to jump in.
Yeah. So what I think is what you're getting to is that you just want to, in worst case, just roll back, right? To
Yes.
the old.
Yes.
So right now we actually disabled already that you can set up a custom domain. So a rollback would be more complicated, but I guess with support we can do it. So in worst case, we can re-enable that you can set up custom domains. It's just something that we have disabled for new customers or for new sites. But I guess in worst case, it could be possible. It wouldn't be automated. So it would require then DNS changes. But we can't.
So
just
that's
do
probably something that I want to
rollback.
do on like a morning instead of like late in the afternoon when support
exactly.
is probably already
it's not something that is intended that there's an automatic rollback, right? So the transfer only goes one way. So we would need to reset up the domain. So I guess if you plan to do it, we can also look into maybe setting the feature flag for you in before in case something goes wrong. But for that, you would need to contact us via support maybe before, and then we can look into it.
Yeah. I think like probably tomorrow I will just like try to verify as much as possible beforehand, and if I then have any concerns or whatever, I will reach out to you.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I think that's ideal. If you replicate all the sites, if you start the upgrade with all your sites, and then you let us know when you want to try to transfer all the domains, so that it would be good that it would be morning times in Germany, so that our support team is there for you. And as Fabian said, we can enable setting up custom domains on your Scroll Viewport instance before for urgent situations. But I guess helping you then with the new setup would be the easiest we could do or the best option in my, yeah, how I envision that.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you. Great. We have another question from an anonymous attendee. So when we upgrade to a site, we update it to the same domain, but the system does not allow it. Do we need to delete the domain from the Scroll Viewport setup first before creating the custom domain again?
No.
Mm.
I don't know if you have started the upgrade before we have shipped the smooth migration. That could be the case. If that's the case, my recommendation would be to delete the site from Scroll Sites again, that you can start the new upgrade process again, so that you can automatically transfer your custom domain. Because as said before, as we are trying to automatically transfer your custom domain, you shouldn't touch it anymore. Once you have like started the upgrade process with the wizard, you shouldn't touch any like viewport setting anymore, because those are already connected in a way, and we are trying to take care to take it over. Before we had this automatic option to migrate the custom domains, you had to like remove it first from your Scroll Viewport side. But now, as we have a possibility to automatically migrate it without any downtime, I would recommend to roll back first for you. So then you can benefit from the auto migration and you don't experience any downtime. Does this make sense for you?
If you have a follow-up, feel free to use the chat. I unfortunately can't allow you to talk because it was an anonymous question. So hope that that works. Any other questions? That was good so far. You can use the chat, you can use the Q&A. The three of us are here. We're around. Aha, thank you, Andreas. So just to be on the safe side, the default behavior for when clicking transfer under summary implies that any settings or choices made under site URL are ignored. This would result in the custom domain being transferred, correct?
Correct, yeah.
You're welcome.
Maybe one more notice, if you have started the upgrade like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, you should roll it back, because that was before we have released a smooth upgrade wizard. But make sure to not delete your production site. Make sure to just delete the replicated site in Scroll Sites and not the site from Scroll Viewport.
Good. Real quick, Sarah, yes, it will be, this recording will be made available. I will just email it out directly after this. I also see no reason that we can't make this available publicly on our YouTube channel. So this will be very easily shareable with your team, with whoever might actually be undertaking the upgrade process. And then we have another one. So we are already migrated to Scroll Viewport today, maybe sites, but I see it asked us to delete it and create a custom domain. Maybe I can allow you to speak. If you want to clarify. Feel free to unmute. I don't know if I fully got the question. So we are already migrated to Scroll Viewport today, they wrote, but I see it asked us to delete it and create a custom domain. Could you elaborate a little bit, please? That would be really
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Yes, we are from India. Okay. Actually, we have started migrating today because it was showing from past 2 weeks. It should be disabled soon. So we have two domains. So in that domain, actually, we started from Monday, And it was one domain we started which is having less content, so it was migrated today as well. Another day, another one, we have another some huge amount of data, so we try to transfer it. But initially, for the initial one which is has a smaller domain, it did not ask for anything, like it was showing some warnings, we fixed it and it was migrated. And today it did not ask for any warnings, it directly got generated and it was waiting for. But when I was clicking, we did not delete any domain. But initially when I was it was showing some temporary domain which is of Scroll Viewport, so we tried to fix that one. But when I click on custom domain, it was asking us to delete from the Scroll Viewport again. I'm not sure what is the issue, but in the help document which it says it should not be deleted. So it's the help document a mistake or should be updated, I'm not sure. But it we finally we upgraded it without any issues. We created a custom domain, we deleted from the Scroll Viewport, and it allows in scroll sites, it allowed us to update it as a new domain, means existing domain, and it is up now, no issues.
Okay, to me
And
it
even I
sounds
have raised a ticket as well. Even the customer support team has also replied. Thank you for thanks for their help.
okay. So to me, it sounds like maybe something got mixed up, but it sounds like you solved it now. Did I get it correctly?
Sorry, come again.
So it sounds like you solved it now, just to be on the bright side, because to me it sounds like there was maybe some hiccup that happened, but it sounded to me like you solved the problem.
Yeah, actually, right. As per the help document, it says domain with the existing domain will not be affected, or the production set will not be affected when we are migrating. So we started migrating up to the scroll side. So it got migrated, and then later on it will be showing an a temporary domain, which is recommended one. We'll choose a customer domain, customized domain, right? We have an option to select a custom domain as well.
Yeah, you have an
But
option.
So
Cite your
there when we click the custom domain, it should show what is existing in the Scroll Viewport, which is already
no,
existing domain.
I think maybe the mistake that has happened. I think what you are describing is that you edit the domain manually, or you try to migrate the domain manually, but the new migration flow that is available for some time now should have offered you to transfer the domain automatically with the UI. So that maybe was the issue, that you transferred the domain manually. So you try to create a new one, but I think the domain that should have been taken automatically, and that's maybe the docs that you've read, because that these say don't delete them. But obviously, if you do it by hand, so by changing maybe DNS entries, for example, or by clicking create in the sites UI, then obviously you would need to delete it in the viewport site.
Yeah, that's correct. Did you edit it in the security in the domain section of Scroll Sites? Domains and security?
We did not set up any domains and security. So when we set up, when it is asked for in custom domain, it is generated a new URL and values. So we have updated that one, what the existing one.
Okay, if you can share your domain with us in support, I can take a look at it, what exactly happened, and update the documentation accordingly. That would be really helpful.
I think, Fabian, you have like connection issues?
Sure. I have already replied to the customer support and I am getting response from them. But finally we have fixed it, what I see. But I think help document, I have read it, means it was misguiding us. It will be automatically happen, but it not happened. So what you have said, we have fixed it. So in future it might not affect it, what I feel.
Yeah. I guess you have started the upgrade flow before we have like released the smooth migration. And now we have also, as we have shipped it, we have also upgraded the documentation. Maybe that was the hiccup which was happening here. But yeah, I think feel free to share more insight and support. Fabian and I, we can look after this session if we find your ticket, and then we make sure that we fix this for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Any other questions? Yeah, and as was already kind of mentioned, we are very active in support. Sometimes it's even, it's Caro or it's Fabian on those support tickets with you. So, please reach out to us if something comes up along the way. I think that's often the best way that we can kind of tackle those challenges, just see exactly what's going on in your setup. But I will leave one last awkward silence just in case somebody feels something come up. Good. Then, if there's nothing else, as said, I will send this recording out. I will just do some of the post-processing, and we will make it available to all of you. In that email, I will also share some of the resources that we talked about today, how to actually upgrade and what those stages look like, and the information about how to reach out to our support team in case anything comes up. So with that, I will say thank you all for taking the time today. We really want to make sure that this experience is, as I said, as smooth and as quick as possible for all of you, that you can start to experience all the benefits of Scroll Sites. And yeah, let us know how it goes for you. And we're here. So thank you all for joining and have a great upgrade experience, I hope. Oh, wait, Andrew raised his hand. I don't know if that was on purpose, because he has now gone. So, all right, with that, I will say have a lovely afternoon or morning or wherever you are calling from, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, folks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao.